A wise man once said, insanity is doing the same thing twice and expecting a different result. Well, guess who's just lost a damn mind? Hello everybody, Nora back again. Okay, so last month I had a TBR of about 13 books, and then I bought 3 more books and I added it to my 13, so I had 16 books to read in December. However, I'm certain you've seen my wrap-up video, but I only finished reading 12 out of those 16 books. So what did I decide to do in January? I decided to up my game. So I am hopefully reading 15 books in January. I know, insane. Who does that? Me. I'm an idiot. Okay, so straight out the bat, I'm going to finish the last book of the Grisha trilogy, which is Ruin and Rising by Lee Bardugo. I hopefully will finish this pretty quickly, fingers crossed, just because Alina is not so annoying in this one, and Mal has learned to keep his mouth shut, and just do what he does best, which is brood and, use his muscle, because we all know he has no brain. So yeah, I'm looking forward to finishing the Grisha trilogy and being like, bye bitch, I hope I don't see you anytime soon. After this, I intend to read Lee Bardugo's Language of Thorns. Now, this was one of the books that came in for me in December. It's a collection of fairy tales. The art in this is stunning, as you can see, and I just love the thoughts of being able to delve into this and read this. So yes, it's a collection of fairy tales, Grisha themed fairy tales, and I'm looking forward to reading them. Now after that, I'm reading my babies, Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. I'm not about to go into details as to what these books are. I keep talking about both the Grisha trilogy and these books all over my channel. So, just know they are my babies. I want to adopt them. I want some of them to adopt me. And I will die for Inej and Kazbreka. Next up on my TBR this January is The Beast Made of Night duology by Tochi Oyebuchi. So I have Beast Made of Night and I have Crown of Thunder. Now, I try my best not to know so much about the books I want to read before going into them, because I like being pleasantly surprised. But what I do know about this book is that in the land of Kos, they pride purity above all else. But that does not mean that they do not commit sin, which is where the corrupted mages and sin eaters come in. They cleanse you of your sin, and then the Aki, who are young mages in training, kill the sin, who transform into beasts. And that is where our lead character Taj comes in. Is an Aki who is cocky, who's trying to fend for his family, and then he stumbles onto a conspiracy that might lead to the end of Kos if he does not do anything about it. And the premise sounds amazing, and I love the fact that the sin is depicted as tattoos on skin. So, and you know how I love me my tattoos. So definitely looking forward to reading both Beast Made of Night and Crown of Thunder, and letting you know what my thoughts are when I'm done. If you watched my channel and reading goals video, you will know I said one of my goals is to catch up on series that my friends loved and enjoyed, so we can talk more about it, and I can, get more involved in like the fandom and check up on the fan art and all of that. And one of those books is Daughter of Smoke and Bone. Now, I have never read these books. I've not read any Laini Taylor books. I have zero idea what this book is about, because I remember the very first time I heard about it was through Anna of a Clockwork Reader's channel, and she mentioned that this is a book you want to go in blind when you're reading it. So I was like, okay, I try my best to know absolutely nothing about this book, but there is the first line that she read, which I felt was fantastic and had me intrigued. And it just said, once upon a time, an angel and a devil fell in love. It did not end well. And I was just like, okay, I'm intrigued, sign me up. The next set of books I'm reading in January is A Darker Shade of Magic trilogy by V.H. Schwab. Now, just like Daughter of Smoke and Bone, I have heard so many fantastic and amazing things about this book and about V.H. Schwab's writing, so I am looking forward to it. And just like A Daughter of Smoke and Bone, I try my best to know absolutely nothing about this book. The only thing I know about this book is that there are 4 different Londons. One of the London, I think, has powers, and our narrator is a magician who can jump across worlds. And I love books that involve, jumping across worlds and universes. So I was like, okay, I'm intrigued, sign me up. Plus, I've seen some very, very cool quotes, and I don't know, I just feel like I'm going to enjoy it. Fingers crossed that I do, because The next book on my list is Of Women and Frogs by BC Ajapon. Now, this book is about a 16-year-old girl called Essie. She's Afghanian, Nigerian, who basically has to deal with, coming to terms with herself, her identity, her sexuality in a society where she believes and knows that the adults are hypocrites and that there are so many things that they are not telling them just because of their age. And Essie is insistent on finding out the truth, on learning things by herself. And I've heard that this book is hilarious, and I'm looking forward to finding out all about her antics as she discovers more about herself and about sex. The next book on my list is Here Comes the Sun by Nicole Dennis Benn. Now, I don't know that much about this book. I do know, though, this is a book that takes place across 3 generations of women. So you have a mother, an older sister, and a younger sister. And basically, it all takes place in Montego Bay in Jamaica. And you have 3 women. You have the elder sister who is trying her best to ensure that her younger sister has all the opportunities and education that she wants, except for the fact that her younger sister has her own dreams. And then you have their mother, who is besieged by her own hurt and by her own pain, who is trying to ensure that her daughters do not repeat her mistakes. So, and all of this is surrounding the building of a hotel and the changes that brings to their lives and the choices they will have to make in lieu of that. And I just appreciate the fact that one of the women is a sex worker. And I think that those are stories that we need to tell to give sex workers well-rounded lives, and to ensure that they are also part of the narratives, because they exist all around us. And I always found it weird that we do not have enough books, detailing their lives, their choices, and what their dreams and ambitions and goals are. And the last book I intend to read in January is Hash by Malinda Lo. Now, I have said enough about my not so pleasant experience with Huntress, which was apparently set a couple of centuries before this book. I sincerely hope I enjoyed this. I am keeping my fingers crossed that Malinda Lo does not do that thing where she has an Insta romance, or that thing where she has the hopping, that POV hopping across different characters, because that grated on my nerves. But I'm keeping my fingers crossed that I like this book, because this is a book that I said a lot of people really enjoyed and loved and recommended that I read before I read Huntress. So I'm getting the chance to read it. I hope I enjoy it. So this book is basically a Cinderella retelling. You have Hash, whose father is dead, who is living with her cruel stepmother, and she's dealing with all these atrocities committed against her. And then in all this, she meets a fairy, and while she's bonding with the fairy, and she thinks that, okay, her wish would be granted through him, she also meets the king's huntress, Kesa, who she develops a friendship, and eventually love is meant to blossom between them. I am holding on to the eventually love is meant to blossom, being that, okay, there might not be an insta love in this, but like I said, I'm keeping my fingers crossed, and Malinda Lo has already burnt me once, so I'm a bit wary, but I hope I do enjoy this, because nobody wants to read a book that they will hate, and nobody wants to read a book that they will rant about. But this shit happens. But if I had a choice, I would rather this shit does not happen. So those are the books I intend to read in January, all 15 of them. Let me know if any of these books are in your TBR for January. Let me know if you're interested in reading any of these books, or if you've read any of these books. Or better still, let me know which of the series I should start first. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I make new videos every Sundays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and I will see you soon. Bye.